Hello, everybody. It's your boy Rich with our special guest, David Moadel. How you doing, David?
I'm good, sir. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing really, really good. How was your weekend?
Oh man, I need another one and another one. But we're here. The one thing I don't like about the weekend is there's no trading on the New York Stock Exchange. So that's one thing to look forward to. I'm happy it's Monday for that reason only.
Absolutely. Well, the good news is that even though the stock market is not open, the cryptocurrencies are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's right. That's right. So why sleep? Why eat? Why go to the bathroom? I just want to trade, and crypto is giving me that opportunity. It's kind of like futures. It's like the futures market. It's open 24/7, pretty much. They even take holidays off. They take President's Day.
I
Do they
think
take Martin Luther King Day? I don't think they do.
no, there is no holidays in cryptocurrencies.
No.
And futures,
Wow.
I think futures closes for only 5 hours, and I think that's on a Saturday.
Yeah. That's all they get.
They get like
Wow.
5 hours off. It's either 5 hours or half a day on Saturday, and then it opens up again on Sunday. Obviously, it's open on Friday. I think actually
Yeah.
Saturday's the only day off, if I actually think about
That
it,
is
because I've
great.
traded futures, and I believe it's Saturday's the only day off. So it's one day a week that you're off on futures. Cryptocurrencies have no days off,
No days up.
which is
Mm.
incredible. And
That's a
obviously,
good.
the stock
Yeah.
market has a little bit of a break, which is cool on the
Right.
weekends.
Right.
Let us
Yeah.
let us feel good about our winnings. Let us
Right.
feel horrible about our losings. And but let's just get right into it. I want to touch base
Yeah.
first on Chaincoin a little bit. So
Right.
this weekend, Max did what no man has done before. Max, who is the captain of the Chaincoin revolution, I honestly consider him my mentor. I am a general for the Chaincoin community. Thanks to Max, he's really helped me catapult my organization, the Rich TV Live community, my YouTube channel, my presence online. I owe a lot of it to Max, to be honest with you, and the Chaincoin community, you, the people. And I was inspired by Max this weekend because he's changed. I don't know if you've watched him at all, but he's changed. Initially, when he got on this Chaincoin movement, he was, very nice guy. Not that he's not nice now, but he was very nice guy, all about the people. And, people were attacking him, attacking him, attacking him. And I think he allowed it to kind of manifest itself. He allowed people to push him. He allowed people to push him. And I think he had enough of it. And we're seeing a different Max now. Completely different Max. And I love this Max because this is a no nonsense Max. And what he did this weekend is he came out and said, listen, I'm tired of people trying to ask me to post my wallet. I'm tired of people saying that I'm dumping on my own community. I'm tired of people saying that I'm dumping my chain coin. So what I'm going to do for all you haters and all you trolls, I'm going to shut you all up right now and I'm going to post my wallet live. Live. And he posted his 33,000 chain coins that he's currently hodling live for the whole world to see. And it's funny because so many YouTubers and haters love to talk about all the things that they believe he's doing. But I haven't heard one person other than me talk about how he's posted his wallet live.
Yep.
What do you think about that, David?
Yeah. That's a gutsy thing to do, but he's putting, no pun intended, he's putting his money where his mouth is. A lot of people can say, a lot of people can talk the talk. He's showing it. This is what I own. This is not a pump and dump. Here's the proof. Okay. I don't see anybody else doing that. And he's revealing something about himself that he's doing that. He doesn't have to do that. He didn't have to show his wallet. He chose to do that. When people say, "Oh, Max, show me your holdings," he doesn't have to. He can say it's none of your business. That's you know what I mean. But he chose to do it anyway, and I think that was really cool. That shows that he's real. That shows that it's not a pump and dump because he's hodling, he's holding. Okay, if this were a pump and dump, don't you think he would have gotten rid of it if he bought it at 6 cents and it went to $7? Don't you think he would have gotten rid of all of it at $7 or $5 when he was up 100,000% or 10,000%, whatever the math is? He didn't do it. He's still hodling. When Chaincoin came down, he stayed with it. he came down with it. You know what I mean? So I got to give him mad respect for that. That's just me. What do you think about it?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I think he just put everybody in their place. He put
yeah,
everybody in their place. All the
yeah,
haters, all the YouTubers, everybody just talking trash. He shut them all
yeah.
up. And I haven't heard one person say anything negative about him since that. So as
Right.
far as I'm concerned, I think it was an incredible move. It was a gutsy move. It
Yeah.
was a move that shows he's got some big kahunas. And I absolutely love it. I think it's just showing that he is a unique individual and why I'm proud to call him my mentor, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
He showed the world that he is legit. And he's the first YouTuber I've ever seen publish his wallet publicly.
That's fantastic. I hope more follow suit. Again, they're not required to. You know, just because he did it doesn't mean other people have to do it. He chose to do it. When people ask, you know, when you ever see once in a while you'll see somebody say, "Ooh, verified trades." You know, some of these stock gurus, some of these currency and futures gurus, they say, "Oh, my trades are verified." Oh, really? Okay, show me. Show me what's in your accounts. Okay. A lot of times when they say it's verified by them, okay, or by a company they own, or by their friend, or by their associate. That's not independent verification. What Max did was not that. He showed people his wallet, his personal wallet. Got to give him respect for that. He's got guts to do it. He didn't have to. He just chose to. So I think he's the real deal. I think if you choose him as a mentor, you're choosing the right guy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this is, what do you think? Is this a different side of Max? Is this a new Max we're going to see in the future? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Like, this is a Max I told him, I said, Max, man, you're my mentor, and I'm going to follow you to the end of the earth. Because the way he did that, he just took all the trolls, all the haters, all the YouTubers that have all been doubting him, putting out FUD and videos, trying to put him down, and he just shut them all up. And that's just his Chaincoin holdings. Who knows how many other holdings he has?
Right.
And you know what? If he did have more and he sold it at $7, good for him. But the reality is, that means he's a smart investor. But the reality is, he's still hodling a very large amount, more than I am, a lot more than probably anybody who's watching. So nobody can doubt him anymore. It's eliminated every shadow of doubt. Every little grain of doubt has been eliminated. The other thing he did, which I thought was impeccable, people were sitting there saying, Max, you look stressed. Max, you smoke so many cigarettes. Max, you look tired. Max, you look like you're losing your hair. And he goes and pulls out his hair. And man, he had a lot of hair, Dave. His hair came down to here. He looked like he had a lot of hair. And he's like, yo, bros, you think I'm balding? Pulls out his hair. And I was like, yo, this guy's got a lot of hair. So I just think that Max just took his balls and just said, here.
Yeah.
And just shut everybody up. And if you actually watch him now, he's a different guy.
Yeah.
He's a different guy now. It's like you woke up the sleeping giant. We woke up the beast in him. And he's coming out and saying, listen, guys, I ain't poor. I ain't homeless. I make money. I ain't rich. Not yet. But maybe one day I'll have $100 million worth of Chaincoin. So when he did that, I think what it did is he just catapulted Chaincoin to the next level. He definitely took my belief in him and took it to the next level. He definitely took my belief in Chaincoin to the next level. And he inspired me. And I thought it was incredible, and I thought it was a strong move. I thought it was a power move. And as far as I'm concerned, it was checkmate.
Yeah,
checkmate.
If people keep asking him a question over and over, let's see your holdings, I guess he just got sick of it. So, sometimes the best way, yes, you could ignore it. That's one way to approach something, like haters and trolls, doubters. Another way to do it is just hit it head on, just address it. Here you go. Here's my hair, okay, not me, I got none, but him, okay. And here's my wallet, okay. Here it is. Look, are you happy? All right, now people can finally shut up about that and focus on the currency, the chain coin, the price action, the news that's going on, and what he's got. I could see why people might question him because it did kind of look like he was in a trailer or something. If you weren't paying attention, it kind of looked like, oh, I judged him a little bit. I'm like, gosh, he kind of smokes a lot. He's some of his videos. He seems a little quiet on the quiet side, like compared to you. You're very talkative. You've got that gift. Sometimes, and he does too, in a different way. Sometimes I thought, who is this guy? Well, I was a doubter at first as well. But now that you explained him to me, and now that I watched more of his videos, and now that he did this video, I'm starting to understand what he's all about, and it makes more sense to me, and probably makes more sense to a lot of people. There's still going to be haters, still going to be trolls. So what? Okay. But any reasonable person can now see that, yeah, you know what? He does know what he's talking about. He is for real. So I think he's as good a mentor as any.
Well, for someone like me that's new to cryptocurrencies, only been in for 2 months, I don't know that much about these coins. I don't. I have a lot of knowledge in the markets when it comes to stocks. I have a lot of knowledge in private companies, public companies. But I'm not a guru in cryptocurrency. So it's important for some of the newer people, as you call us noobs. Everyone calls me a noob. That's okay, call me a noob. It's important for a noob like me to have a mentor that can kind of guide me through these shark-infested waters. Let's be honest. And I feel like I need to do the same for a lot of the newer people that want to get into the stock market. And even the stock market, when you've been around for a long time, you still can get crushed. And I'm sure with cryptocurrencies, it's the same thing because they go up very fast and they go down very fast. Now, speaking of that, I want to touch on this huge revolutionary event that's going to be happening tomorrow. What's your opinion on the 6 a.m. Bitcoin fork happening tomorrow?
Yeah, and thank you for asking. That's the hard fork. And if you have Bitcoin, you need to be aware of this, okay? A lot of your listeners, Rich, probably already know that this is happening, but they may not know the details. Some of them may not know about it at all. And so if you have Bitcoin, you need to be aware of this. If you have anything, any kind of coin, it'll probably affect it as well indirectly. All right, tomorrow at 6 a.m., like you said, August 1st, there's going to be a hard fork, kind of a branching into two, right? Imagine a fork, like a two-pronged fork, a bifurcation, if you want the science term, okay? So I did a little research on that. Here's what I found out. Tomorrow, August 1st, is the hard fork. Tomorrow, Bitcoin will branch into two. It'll hard fork or bifurcate into two different currencies. BTC, Bitcoin, and BCC, which is Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin investors will own both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. You'll have both. Investors who do not want the Bitcoin Cash can sell it in an exchange for Bitcoin if you want to. For whatever amount of Bitcoins you had before the split, before the fork, you'll end up having that same amount of Bitcoin Cash. Also, as Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash essentially become two separate currencies, they'll be independent of each other. You'll be able to spend your Bitcoin Cash without spending Bitcoin. So they're not one and the same, even though they kind of sound the same. Now, why are they doing this? The apparent reason, okay, that this is the stated reason. What the ulterior reason is, we can debate that. The apparent reason they're doing this hard fork is because the powers that be want Bitcoin to be more like a payment network, as readily available and easy to use as cash, hence the name, Bitcoin Cash, as opposed to the group, the other faction, that views Bitcoin kind of like digital gold, okay? Maybe not as, cash worthy or cash like. So what do we recommend? Well, it is recommended, and again, this show, we're not making any recommendations to buy or sell anything. I'm not a licensed or registered investment advisor, okay? You have to do your own due diligence, make your own decisions. But some people are recommending that people do not keep their coins in an exchange, especially your Bitcoin. Keep it in a secure wallet instead. Now, exchanges that support, you might be wondering what exchanges are going to support Bitcoin Cash. Don't assume that whatever exchange you use is going to accept Bitcoin Cash right now. It might not. The exchanges that will support Bitcoin Cash include Bittrex, Poloniex, and Kraken. Coinbase, the very popular Coinbase, has emphasized that it is not willing to support Bitcoin Cash due to its contentious nature. While BitMEX, another popular one, has given the opinion that Bitcoin Cash will likely lead to security issues. Not trying to scare you, that's what BitMEX said.
Wow.
Okay. One fear is that people who receive their BCC, their Bitcoin Cash, they're immediately going to dump it. Okay. That's a big fear, and it's a
That's what I've
legitimate
heard.
fear that
That's what I've heard.
that people who are going to get their Bitcoin Cash and people are going to trade it away, essentially dumping it. Because of the massive dumping, there's another fear that some of the exchanges might actually malfunction or melt down temporarily,
Wow.
creating a lot of volatility.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. Now, there is one advantage of Bitcoin Cash is the block size limit. It's been increased for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash provides the much needed relief to users with an immediate increase of the block size limit to 8 megabytes. Okay, that's much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, and the final takeaway, so what's your point, Dave? You're probably asking that. The takeaway is that if you plan to hold Bitcoin for the long term, which is what we're doing, we're the Hodl Nation, right? Move your coins to a safe wallet now. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just an idea. You can do if you want to. You can move your coins to a safe wallet right now because it's not August 1st yet. You still have time. If you have a sizable profit already from your Bitcoin, it's okay to take some of your investment off the table and convert it to US dollars or whatever your local currency might be. Okay. So that's my take on it. That's my research that I've done. I'm curious to see what you have to say and what the listeners have to say about this.
Well, I think that it is like almost like Armageddon. I have so many friends that don't know what to expect. Like, for example, is everyone just going to get an extra $500 free Bitcoin Cash? Or is that $500 going to be deducted from the price of Bitcoin? Like when you do a forward split, for example, if you're a bank and you're at $80 and you do a forward split to $40, you're going to end up with 2 shares at $40 each. So how is the split going to work? And nobody really knows.
No one knows.
It hasn't been explained. And like I have friends that think they're going to get a free $500 coin, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Nah,
that's not the way. That's not the way business works. There's no such thing as a free $500 coin. But there are some people thinking there's some people saying that's what's going to happen. You're going to get these free tokens. Nothing in life is free.
Yeah.
Nothing in life is free. So
right.
I'm a little bit, it's like Armageddon. Nobody really knows what to expect. Because I'm not heavily invested in cryptocurrencies right now, I'm not even worried about it. But I have some friends that are very heavily invested and they're like not knowing what to do. And they're sending me articles and I'm reading it and the articles just get me more confused. So the one place that one of my friends just posted, put all of his Bitcoin, and he had a bunch of Bitcoin, excuse me, is he put it all in Kraken. Because Kraken is saying that they will fully, like you just mentioned, they will fully protect everyone with Bitcoin and they have no problem issuing BCC to anyone who has Bitcoin. So my buddy just moved everything to Kraken. And he sent a wire to Kraken. Check this out. Kraken is the #1 exchange to buy Bitcoin. But you have to wire the money to Tokyo. But if you wire the money to Tokyo, which takes 15 days, you actually buy Bitcoin at market price. So you're not losing any spread. So if you buy a Coinbase, if you buy a CoinMama, if you buy a local Bitcoin, you're paying a spread. You're paying a premium. But if you actually send your money to Kraken, you are paying no premium. So anybody that's interested in buying Bitcoin at the lowest price, get an account at Kraken, send a wire. My buddy sent a large wire. They accepted it. They took it. He bought a bunch of Bitcoin, put it into his wallet, and now just moved everything back into Kraken because he wants his BCC. Now, the other question I have is, BCC is the symbol for BitConnect. So I don't understand how they can have the same symbol as already a symbol of BitConnect, which is a $65 token. Now, because it's Bitcoin related, maybe it takes precedence. I'm not sure. Because Bitcoin is essentially Big Brother. In order to buy BitConnect, you got to buy Bitcoin first. So maybe they take precedence. But I don't know how that's going to work. Is there going to be 2 BCCs? It's going to be weird. It's going to be confusing. I don't know if anybody knows. But I'd like to know the answer. So there's a lot of questions right now I don't really know the answers to. But that's why we're having this debate. That's why we're having this interview. So we can put that question out there to the people. Hopefully you guys know. If you guys know, then maybe you guys can let us know so we can like talk it out, hash it out, and try to get to the bottom of it. But regardless, we're gonna know tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna know
We'll
in like, it's like we're hours away.
We'll
The
find out
clock
soon
is,
enough.
yeah, the
Yeah.
clock is ticking, and I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen. Super excited to see what's gonna happen.
I imagine there's going to be plenty of volatility in Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin proper, as you might call it, which we can take advantage of. I mean, if these scares are temporary. That's my bread and butter is temporary scares. As Rich always says, buy in the red, sell in the green. Buy when there's fear in the markets, and this is a market. And so if this causes plenty of volatility tomorrow, you can buy Bitcoin. And if this volatility spreads to other coins, because fear, you know how it spreads, okay? If your favorite coin goes down, maybe it's Chaincoin, I don't know, goes down temporarily, you can pick some up because it'll probably go back up while people figure out that, hey, you know what? It's not the end of the world. It's not really the apocalypse. Everything's going to be all right. When these scares happen, and this is true if you're trading anything, people cannot stay afraid for very long. People calm down after a while when they figure out. I remember back in 2011. Do you know this, Rich? How in 2011 the United States got downgraded by Standard & Poor's? We used to have a AAA rating. We got downgraded. Okay.
Wow.
The market went down 20%. Then, as people figured out that, oh wait, the world is not ending, the United States will be fine. Okay, it's not the apocalypse. Went right back up. So if you have the guts to get in there, and it takes guts, it's not easy. While everybody else is freaking out, if you look at the situation objectively and say, you know what, it's not the end of the world. It's not really the apocalypse. All right. So if there is volatility in your favorite coin, whatever it might be, because it might not just be Bitcoin that gets volatile tomorrow for a little while. I can't tell you what to do, but I might take advantage of it myself. I might get in there and buy the dip.
Oh,
because
yeah.
fear does not last forever. People calm down sooner or later, probably sooner.
Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. Bitcoin is 50% of the entire cryptocurrency space. 50%. And I remember the number was shrinking because Ethereum was growing, Litecoin was growing, all the altcoins were growing. But ever since that last dip where they went all the way down to 1750, Bitcoin has been on a run. And I believe they're still trading well over 2,700 as we speak. So it hasn't really gone down like I anticipated, like a lot of people predicted. A lot of people thought people would be dumping their Bitcoin right now. But people are just buying more.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's why we have to get in there. Buy when there's blood on the streets, as Warren Buffett famously said. It's hard to do. It's hard to buy Chaincoin when it's under $1. Or when it's under 50 cents, when it went down to 33 cents, but imagine if you had.
Absolutely.
Okay? And there will probably be other opportunities. Am I saying Chaincoin is going to go down to 33 cents again? It might or it might not. But I'll tell you what, if it gets down to 50 cents, that's a darn good price. 50, 60 cents, whatever. I think that's a darn good price. Oh, but Dave, it might go down to 33 cents again. Okay, it did it before, then it went back above $1.
That's right.
If you buy at 50 cents, and it goes down to 33 cents, but then goes back up above 50 cents, up to 80 cents, $1. Now you've doubled your money. Hello. Doesn't happen every day. You know what? So you got to have the guts to stay in there when everybody else is afraid. That's contrarian investing. Hard to do, but worth it. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy right now, but it's entertaining. I mean, it's pure entertainment. Yeah. I'm going to be up early in the morning with my popcorn, and I'm going to be watching, and I'll probably go live, and I'll just talk about what's going on. Maybe if you want, you could join me. We could just literally talk about what is happening. Armageddon in cryptocurrency space. Nobody really knows.
Right.
Nobody really knows. I mean, yeah, people are talking about, the pros and the cons. People are talking about what they think is going to happen, but nobody really knows what's going to happen. No. Now, my prediction is that Bitcoin Cash is going to get dumped. Now, the reason why, and I mean, I'd like to know your opinion on this. And someone just said that they believe it's going to be BCH because BCC is already taken by BitConnect. So a lot of people think that it might be BCH, the symbol of Bitcoin Cash, which makes sense. Thank you very much for that help, guys.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Epic Hustler, you got a wrench, don't you? I thought I gave you a wrench. That's really weird. Okay, I'll make sure that that gets added. I could have sworn I added you, man. Um, I'll make sure that that gets added. I don't know why it's not on there. But what a lot of people are saying is that when would you sell Bitcoin Cash? You sell it at the highest time. Well, when's going to be the highest time? The second that it's public. It's like a reverse, right? Typically, what happens on a reverse split? 99% of the time after a reverse split, the stock goes right down. Because after the reverse, you're typically at the highest price. Then everybody starts selling. So a lot of people with that strategy are going to dump the hell out of Bitcoin Cash. And I'm anticipating that it's going to be like Armageddon for Bitcoin Cash. Everybody's going to dump their Bitcoin Cash and, like you mentioned, immediately buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah. And if you know that, and that, guess who else knows it? Everybody. Okay. And not only that, but people who anticipate that other people are going to do that might dump their Bitcoin Cash, so they're not holding the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because if you think everybody else is afraid and is going to dump, now you're afraid because you're afraid of your holdings to get dumped. Okay, you don't want to be the last. It's like musical chairs. You don't want to be the last person. Okay, when the music stops. All right. Also, I think people are going to dump it just because they never wanted it in the first place. People bought Bitcoin so they could have Bitcoin. A lot of people don't even know or care about Bitcoin Cash. They're going to see it in their account. They're going to be like, what the heck is this? And then, look, get rid of this. Give me, they might either go to just cash, whatever it is in your particular locality. For me, it's US dollars. Or they might just go back to Bitcoin because that's what they wanted in the first place. I know they're trying to make this into a more cash-like thing. I get it. I see why they're doing it. This may be good in the long run, but tomorrow I think there's going to be a lot of volatility, both in Bitcoin and especially, like you just said, in Bitcoin Cash. If you want to get out, it's not too late. Okay, keep this live stream in one window and in another tab. Okay, maybe go to your whatever your wallet is and put it in your wallet if you want to. I'm not telling you what to do. Or if you want to do the Kraken thing, if you trust that process, that's fine. But for me, the safest thing would be just put in your wallet. Okay, you're going to miss one day of price action. Big deal. You can get back in. I don't know. That's how I look at it. I don't mind missing a day of the markets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, usually those are the times where you make money. Every time I've ever rushed to buy anything, I lose.
Yeah.
So what does that teach you in investing? Never rush. Be a sniper. Be a ninja.
Right.
Buy in the red when it's beaten down. When it's ugly. That's when you buy it. And you sell it when it's super hot and everybody wants it. That's when you sell. That's how the whales get rich. And the average person, the average investor, we call them sheep, get slaughtered because they follow the trend. And typically, what do you say? What do you say, David, all the time? If your cabbie driver, finish the sentence.
If your Uber driver knows about it, if your Uber driver is telling you a hot stock tip, it's too late. And if you own that stock, get out. Because by the time your Uber driver is telling you, by the time Kramer, not to put down Jim Cramer, but he's just a famous example, is going on CNBC, MSNBC telling you to buy it, by the time celebrities are telling you to buy it, okay? Yeah, it's so funny. You've got celebrities talking about cryptocurrencies now. All right. There was what was it? First it was Pitbull a few months ago was telling everybody to buy Bitcoin. Now, did you know the boxer Floyd Mayweather?
Oh yeah. He promoted STOX. STOX. That's right. STOX. He said,
"Are you going to take your financial advisement from Floyd Mayweather? I'm sure he's a great guy. Okay." I'm going to do my own due diligence, okay? If celebrities are telling me to buy a particular security, it's probably too late. If your Uber driver, if the people at the water cooler at work are telling you, oh man, this is hot, by the time they know about it, by the time CNBC is telling you how hot this is, it's probably too late. That's why Chaincoin, I love it because it's kind of still underground, kind of still a small following. It's not too late, okay? When something is still $1 or less, it's not $100 yet. It's not like Bitcoin where it's $2,500, $2,700, $2,800, right? Don't you wish you'd gotten into Bitcoin when it was, what did Bitcoin start out as? Under $1, am I correct?
Under a penny. Under a penny.
Under a penny.
It started at 0025. In 2009, it was at 0025. If you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin 8 years ago, in 2009, your $100 today would be worth $100 million.
You're breaking my heart.
I know.
Uh,
I heard yesterday. I was actually watching Crypto Trading Pro. Yo, how you doing, Raj? I love you, man. And
Raj, what's up?
we love you, Raj. You are one of the most entertaining, hardest working guys on YouTube, man. And I was watching Raj, and he was talking about this guy named, I think his name is Roger Ver. And this guy owns, are you ready for this? Are you ready to hear how much Bitcoin this guy has? It's crazy, David. Crazy. 300,000 coins. Yeah. He is like the Bitcoin guy. He's like one of the most world famous Bitcoin guys. He has 300,000 Bitcoins.
And he bought him. He bought him at the beginning. At the.
I'm assuming. I mean, that's worth $750 million now.
So he must have bought it at the beginning. You know, he's either a genius or nuts, because Bitcoin, you know, the whole cryptocurrency thing back in 2009, 2010, nobody knew whether it would gain any acceptance at all. So he could have wasted his money, but he didn't. But because, you know what's funny? When a trade works out really well, you're a genius.
But you know what the funny part is? 300,000 coins at 0025. Do you know how much money that is?
I can't imagine.
$600. $600.
He put $600, so maybe it wasn't that crazy, because the most he could have lost was $600.
So a 600. I don't know what price he bought it at, but I'm assuming at those levels. And if you bought it, even if you bought it at a penny, $3,000. It's $3,000 at those prices. So 300,000 coins at 002. If you bought it at that level and he paid $600, man, he is one of the smartest men on the planet to turn a $600 investment to a $750 million return in 8 years.
Wow. Here's a question: If you had done that,
goodness,
would you sell now and take your $100 million, or would you leave it in there?
Well, I don't think he needs to. He could just sell a little bit here and there. He knows Bitcoin's not going anywhere. He's a Bitcoin guru. He knows where Bitcoin's going, and he knows it's going to the moon, man. So for him, he's thinking about becoming probably a multi-billionaire, because everybody's talking about how it's going to $500,000 a coin, $1 million a coin in 3 to 5 years. So he's going to be worth like trillions at that point.
Wow. Wow. I would take half off the table if it were me, you know.
Why not?
I would take, let's say, $50 million, put it in cash.
Yeah, why not, right?
You know, let the rest of it ride. I don't know. That's me.
I mean, yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, putting a couple $100 million in the bank. That's for sure.
Oh, my God. I just want to give out to my girlfriend, Wendy. She, back in 2010, she said, "Hey, Dave, you know, I'm thinking about looking at Bitcoin. What do you think?" And I'm an idiot. I'm conservative. I said, "Man, I don't know. This might not take off. People might not use it. You know, I can't imagine people going to Walmart using this Bitcoin thing." It even sounded funny to me, the name, Bitcoin. What the heck is a Bitcoin? And, yeah, she was right. I was wrong. Sorry, babe. You should have not listened to me, and, you know, now you'd be a gazillionaire. But it's all right. You know, I'll take you out for dinner this weekend and make it up for you. How about that? All right.
Oh. In 2007, a really good friend of mine, his name is Mark Varon, told me about Bitcoin. He said, "Rich, this is the future." He used to be a trader. It was like barter trading. Bitcoin was used initially for bartering. It was actually barter trade. It was not even a currency at that point. It was being used as a barter exchange product. I'll give you this Bitcoin for this service. You're a hairdresser. I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin. He literally had thousands of them. Okay. Now, I haven't talked to him in years, but I messaged him the other day and I said, "Are you a billionaire now?" And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Honestly, I don't know. Just tell me." You know, because he's a really good friend of mine. But we kind of lost touch. He's from Toronto and I'm living in Vancouver. And I'm like, "Are you a billionaire now?" And he's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "You know how much I had." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, let's just keep it like that." I was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, he had thousands of them. Thousands. And I remember him talking about it all the time. He's like, "I'm just going to keep accumulating because one day this is going to be mainstream." And I thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
And now I feel like An idiot. I should have listened to him. If
I
I
know it.
just
I know
if
the
I just
feeling. I
bought
know the feeling.
$100 worth and just stored it away, put it in a safety deposit box, be worth 100 million. Oh,
Uh, oh well, there will be other opportunities. It's hey, and maybe you know what? Maybe CHC is it. Maybe Chaincoin is it. Maybe you just hodl it, just put it in your safe deposit box, which is your secure wallet, wherever it might be, and just hold on to it. So don't feel bad. Again, in hindsight, he's a genius. It worked out that way. And hey, maybe you know what? BVTK, that worked out pretty well for you. So we've all got our big winners. We've all got our. And let's talk about BVTK. Unless your listeners want to opine, they want to have something to say about what we've been talking about so far. But I'm looking at BVTK. I'm a scanner right now.
yeah, let's talk about it. Hottest stock in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Up 8,000% since April.
It's up 18.64% today, one day.
Winning! Winning! That's a lot of chicken dinners for you guys.
That's a lot of chicken dinners.
Now,
yeah.
when I talked to you guys about it, it was at 0016. When I brought it to you guys, it was at 0016. And I told you guys it was a great buy. I told you I was going to have Tom on my show. Now, Tom had a death in the family. I haven't had him on the show yet. We're still talking to Tom. He wants to come on to Rich TV Live. He loves Rich TV Live. He loves the fact that we've been talking BVTK. And I've told you guys for the last couple months that BVTK is the hottest stock in the world, and it's the only stock that I'm interested in. I've got just focus, like tunnel vision on BVTK, man. Because it's the only company I know, and I talk to a lot of public companies that has news coming out consistently. They're talking to NATO. They're talking to the government of America. They are doing cryptocurrency cybersecurity. A huge industry, which we're obviously talking about. So, and we all know how many issues everybody's having with hacking. Genesis Mining's just recently been hacked. Ethereum has been hacked. Bitcoin has been hacked. So they're in the right space. And they've just taken over, or they're working with a telecom company, and they're just acquiring companies every single day. But yet they still got a stop sign, and they still got a BC Securities and Exchange Commission seized trade order. And they're still going up 8,000% since April. I don't know about you guys, but I got 1 million shares, and I'm hodling those shares. I'm hodling until it goes to at least 10 cents, and that'll be worth 100 G's. And at that point, I'll probably be thinking about holding until it goes to $1. Just saying.
You sent your buy signal at what, 0.0015, you told me?
It was actually, I show, which I'll show you guys. I'll bring it to you guys live. I'll show it on my live stream next time we do it. I don't want to pull it up now because I want to make sure that you got the center stage. But I'll show you guys maybe tomorrow that I did a show. Take a look at my BVTK show, and it just type in Rich TV Live BVTK, man. It was 0016 by 0017.
Now it's 0084 right now. I mean
that's over 500% return in less than a month.
Yeah, and there's no reason to let go of it now, because if you look at the chart, if anybody goes on whatever Google Finance, pull up the chart. It's got higher lows, higher highs. It's like a staircase, up, up. There no. You see, if you've got lower highs, lower lows, you got a problem. But if you've got higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, it's to the moon. I mean, get out of the way. Don't try to stop it. And if you're not in, again, we're not telling you what to buy or what to sell, but there's no reason to doubt this stock right now. It's a winner. If you have to have only one stock, which you do, Rich, it's interesting you only have one stock, but you chose the right one, I'll tell you what.
No. I don't have just one stock. I have lots of stocks. But that's the only stock that I have bought over the last couple months.
Yeah.
I haven't bought any. Well, that's not true. I have bought some Sirius Satellite Radio. I have bought some couple little marijuana stocks here and there, lowering my average cost in a couple positions. But it's the only stock that I'm really excited about right now, and it's the only one that I look at every single day when I wake up. And it's the only one that I'm like reading their news every day, because I'm really focused more on cryptocurrencies right now. I'm just hodling my securities. I'm hodling all my stocks. When they go up, I sell them. When they go down, I try to buy some more. But as far as stocks that I'm interested in, that I'm looking at every day, that I'm watching, and I'm going to be talking about on my show, it's BVTK. If you've been watching me, I literally am talking about it every day because it's going up every day, whether it's 5%, whether it's 10%. I mean, honestly, when a stock goes up 20% a day and I have 1,000,000 shares, I am making 400 US a day. Not bad doing nothing. That's called residual income, people.
Yeah, passive income. That's what it's all about.
Passive income. So why would I sell it? Why would I sell it? I don't need to. I'm just going to hodl it. Honestly, Dave, I don't know if you know this about this company. They have an incredible short position. An incredibly large short position.
Interesting. Okay.
And what happens when you have a huge short position and you're going up every day?
You can get a short squeeze. Is what you can get.
So what do those shorters have to do?
Yeah, they got to cover their short at some point.
And doesn't that create panic?
Yeah.
And when
panic to the upside.
Exactly. So when you got shorters, so when you got shorters covering like crazy, thinking, oh my God, if they remove this stop sign, this is gonna go to 10 cents.
Yeah. Easily.
So what they're doing, okay, so do you want to explain what a short is? Because a lot of people that are in cryptocurrencies don't know what a short is.
Sure, absolutely. It's an interesting concept that I try to explain to a lot of my students because I offer coaching for trading and investing. I'm not a licensed.
Hold on, Dave. Hold that thought for a second. Give everybody your YouTube channel because people are asking. Your YouTube channel, your Twitter channel, your stock Twitch channel. Give everybody your links. I want everybody that's on here to subscribe to all of your social media. Go, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. Rich. I'm David Moadel, Moadel. First name David. Type my name into YouTube. You'll catch all my YouTube videos. I have over 200 of them and growing. I just recently interviewed a well-known marijuana stock guru. That's my latest video. I've got plenty of interviews with guys in the industry, guys who work on the trading floor, who know what I'm talking about. And I make my own videos on technical indicators, how to pick a good stock, also options. I love options. Check me out on Twitter and StockTwitch at David Moadel, DavidMoadel. All right. So I offer coaching for people who want to put together a trading or investing plan. I keep it affordable. I do it through Skype or phone or both. But again, I'm not a licensed or registered investment advisor. I just tell people what I might do and how I might approach things. That's all I can do. You have to make your own decisions. Always, always, always. All right. Disclaimers.
Very good.
So,
short squeeze. We're talking about what is a short, so people can understand.
Now, what is a short squeeze? Imagine if you could sell something before buying it. That's something I teach my students about because it's so hard to grasp. How can you sell something before you buy it? How can you sell something you don't even own? Well, your broker is a bank, and they can loan a stock to you. They can let you borrow it, borrow shares, and then sell them to somebody, and you're hoping that the stock price goes down so you can buy it back. That's called covering your short position, and you want to buy it back at a lower price. Okay, that's the brief explanation. We don't have time to go into exactly how that works, but you're borrowing shares, you're selling them to somebody, you're hoping the price goes down so you can buy it. Instead of buy low, sell high, it's sell high, buy low. You're reversing the order but still making money. So now you buy it back at a lower price and you return those shares to your broker. Because remember, your broker's going to want those shares back of the stock that they loaned to you. Okay, they're not going to let you keep it forever. And when they loan it to you, you're going to have to pay a little bit of interest, usually maybe 6, 7, 8% per year, but that's for a whole year. Okay, if you're just doing this for a few days or a couple of weeks, then it's not even a big factor. Now, what if somebody, whether it's a person or an institution, what if they short or short sell a lot of shares of something? They're betting that's going to go down. They're hoping, praying that the stock price goes down.
Maybe Snapchat.
Yep.
Snapchat is the short of the century.
Yeah, and by the way, hope is not a strategy, okay? But they're hoping that the stock price goes down on BVTK, whatever it is. Though. Guess what? The stock price goes up. Now they're not making money. Now they're losing money. If they put in $1 million, now it's $500,000. Now it's $200,000. Oh my goodness, the stock keeps going up. BVTK keeps going up and up. Now their $1 million is gone. Uh-oh, now they owe the broker $100,000. Now they owe their broker $250,000. Now they owe their broker $1 million. You see, when you short sell, when you short a stock, there's no limit to your potential max loss. Okay. Now, when you buy stock, the most you can lose is whatever you paid for the stock. Okay. But when you short, and shorting is risky. I don't recommend it for most people, especially retail traders. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that's okay. So now all the people who shorted BVTK, and now it's going up, and now they're losing money, and oh my God, now they owe. Not only did they lose all their money that they put into it, now they owe their broker shares at a very expensive price. They owe their brokers basically a lot of money to cover that short. They're panicking. They're getting out of their position. They're buying back the stock because you have to buy it back. Okay. What happens when a lot of people buy that stock because they're buying to cover their short position? The price goes up even more. And now more shorters are panicking. And they're saying, oh my God, now I owe my broker $5 million, whatever it is. If it's an institution, if it's a retail trader, oh my God, I owe my broker, $10,000, $20,000, whatever it is. They cover their short position. They're buying back the stock. They're buying it. Price goes up even more. That's called a short squeeze because all the shorters get squeezed out of their position. All right. That's something you got to watch out for. When people ask, Dave, I'm thinking about shorting this penny stock. 99% of the time, I tell them, please don't do it for your bank account's sake, because I don't want your wife to murder you or your husband to get really mad. Okay. Imagine, honey, yeah, something happened. Okay. There was a guy, there's an article in the Wall Street Journal about a guy who shorted, what was it? I believe it was VRX. It was some penny stock. And no, KBIO. It was Calabios. There was a guy a few years ago who shorted KBIO, a penny stock, a biotech stock. That stock went up and up and up a lot in one day.
Ooh.
So instead of having $30,000 worth of a short position, now he owed E-Trade tens of thousands of dollars. That poor guy had to tell his wife about this. That's not a fun conversation to have, all right? And he actually put on a GoFundMe page, GoFundMe, where you can beg for money online.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a few people gave him money. Most people just gave him hate mail. Like, dude, you're an adult, okay? You knew, or you should have known what you're getting into when you short. If you're in the stock market, it's for big boys and big girls, okay? You don't play around with this. BVTK, whoever shorted it, I don't feel sorry for them at all, okay?
They're getting hurt.
A short squeeze is probably going to happen if it gets, what was it? There's a restriction on it, okay? That restriction gets lifted, and that doesn't mean you can't trade it. You can go on, if you have interactive brokers or E-Trade, you can probably trade it. But is it in Canada? You can't.
No, you can't. You can't buy it in Canada because as a Canadian, a BC, a Vancouver, British Columbia Securities and Exchange Commission seized trade order, so we cannot buy it here in Canada. Luckily, I have partners in America, and I was able to buy it through my Alpine Securities account. Alpine Securities is the #1 broker for buying sub-penny stocks, depositing sub-penny stocks, clearing sub-penny stocks. Now, I told you about Alpine, and they have a pretty crazy bad reputation because they take all the stocks that nobody wants. BVTK was one of those stocks. They had a stop sign. They had a BCC's trade order. They were at 0001. They're at the bottom. That would have been the buy of the century. And everybody shorted them all the way to the bottom. Now they're covering their shorts, which is the reason why I believe the price is going to continue to go up. And I think they're worried that if they remove the stop sign, we're going to see it in Pennyland, and they're going to get squeezed. And a lot of people don't understand that shorting is very risky to the point where you actually have to buy insurance. You actually have to buy insurance when you're shorting sub-penny stocks, because when you short a sub-penny stock, if it does go up exponentially like BVTK has, and you don't have money to cover it, you actually have to buy a huge amount of insurance, because that insurance will protect you in the event that your account gets obliterated and you actually now owe your broker. So that's why most people won't even short these sub-penny stocks. The only people that you'll typically see short these sub-penny stocks are the brokers themselves, hedge funds, market makers, and
Right.
people like Timothy Sykes that live off of short trading.
I wasn't
So
going to say his name, but you said it for me.
I hope Timothy is getting his ass handed to him. Hey Timothy, if you're watching, buddy, I hope you get your ass handed to you, buddy. Hand it to you. Hand it to you. Because I don't like to short trade. I don't like to crush companies. I don't like to destroy companies. I want to build companies. I want to market companies. I want to do advertising for companies. I want to create visibility. I want to create, visibility for undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed public, private, and altcoins and cryptocurrency companies. So I'm not the guy that wants to crush companies, but Timothy makes a living, makes millions of dollars by teaching people how to crush companies. And I just think it's stupid. It's not my strategy. It's not my modus operandi. And he has a lot of haters because of it. I'd rather buy low, sell high than sell high, crap on a company, spread FUD and hate on a company,
Yep.
and then push it down with my community of thousands of traders that are paying me $6,000 a year to teach them how to short companies and destroy companies, which is what Timothy Sykes does.
I wanted to talk about, are there any questions, by the way? I wanted to address any, if anybody's any comments, questions, I wanted to answer them to the best of my ability and your ability. Feel free to ask. We're here to help.
You know what? I don't see too many direct questions.
Or comments, whatever you got.
Can you hodl a short stock? Yeah, you can hodl any stock, but the thing with shorting is you have to cover your short within 30 days. So you can't just hold onto a short position forever.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Especially if you are shorting a percentage of a stock or you're just buying a small position of a stock. Now, if you are a baller and you've got millions of dollars in your account, you can then hold that short position forever, infinitum. But unless you have a ton of money backing you, you can't do that. And there's a great movie that talks about it, The Big Short. If you guys want to learn about shorting, this guy almost lost everything. But eventually, he got the Big Short when it cratered. And when it cratered and went all the way down, he made billions of dollars. Watch The Big Short. It's a great movie that explains what happens if you get short squeezed. And let me tell you, the stress. I've seen companies go out of business. $billion companies have gone out of business because of one bad short trade.
Yeah, that's all it takes. I don't recommend it for almost anybody. If you have a massive account and you want to short a little bit of UVXY, VXX, TVIX, I've interviewed a few people who've made very good money doing that. But again, they only do small amounts. Usually don't short anything if you can't handle it and if you don't have a large account. All right.
It's very stressful. If you're shorting Snap, you're freaking winning.
Yeah. For now, but you never know. That's the thing. It could turn around. So it's a game for the big boys and big girls. Now I know that Max is branching out into other coins, including Linda Coin.
Yes.
Just wanted to mention what I learned. I did a little research on Linda Coin. Went to their website. Went to the source because when I did I start with Google. Linda Coin and blah blah blah. And there's a lot of what looked like misinformation out there. All kinds of stuff. So you know what? I went to lindacoin.com, and it's really interesting. Linda Crypto Coin is a hybrid coin. It's like a MUD with more than 70% pure POS block, reward phase, and 99% APR. This coin comes with a master node, so it is a master node coin. I think that may be one of the reasons Max Lee is high on coins.
Yes.
Is into it so much. I think he likes the master node coins.
Loves
which chain coins also, which ensures lightning fast, secured transactions. Well, they all say that, but multi-wallets, encrypted messaging, and stealth addresses for complete anonymity. What else did I learn about it? I learned over 70% pure POS block reward phase, which is optimum for investments. Masternodes make transactions instant. 50% block reward for masternodes. I don't know how to compare that to other masternodes. What do you say, Richard? 50% block reward for masternodes. Is that pretty good as far as masternodes go?
It's one of the more expensive coins. You have to, I believe you have to get some huge number of coins to get a masternode. So it's not the best coin to get for the masternode, but it is a good coin and it is a cheap coin. So I believe if you can buy it in the red and hodl it, it's going to be a winner long term.
Yeah.
And because it's so cheap, I definitely want to get some Linda coin. Okay?
Yeah.
But what I want to also do is I want to mention some of the other coins that Max wants, the Masternode Hodler crew, because that's what we're calling ourselves now, the Masternode Hodlers. We want to accumulate all the masternodes. So some of the other masternodes that I want to share with you that you may want to write down that Max has put out to his network is Crave, Crave. Crave is also another masternode coin. Another coin that he has mentioned is ENT. ENT is another coin that he really likes. Another coin that he really likes is LDoge, LDoge. Those are all coins that Max really likes and has put out to his community, has put out to Hodler Nation as coins that he is actually accumulating and that he's hodling. And I haven't bought any of those coins yet. I only have acquired CHC so far as a masternode coin, but I'm waiting for tomorrow's Armageddon to just kind of see how the market's going to recover, because I believe there will be some sort of a panic, an Armageddon, some type of fear. And I'm not touching anything. I'm just leaving everything I have. I'm not touching anything. And I believe it'll be a great buying opportunity. And I'm literally going to just be snipering tomorrow, looking for different buying opportunities. So those are all coins that I have on my radar. They're all coins that I want to watch. And they're all coins that I'm very interested in. I really like Crave. I really like Crave because it only has 1.5 million coins. And it's trading at, I believe, $2.70, $2.60 region last time I looked. So they're very tightly held. They only got 1.5 million coins. And they come very highly recommended by Max. And apparently they are one of the cheapest coins to accumulate to get a masternode. So they're definitely one of the coins that I have on my radar. And obviously right now with Chaincoin in the 60-cent range, you can get a masternode for $600. So you know I'm going to be accumulating more Chaincoin. So I'm very interested in accumulating all of the different masternode coins. And that's why I'm following Master Lee's lead, because I need a mentor that has that type of experience, that understands the industry intrinsically, that is a developer, is a programmer, knows how to, run his masternodes, and can really teach us as a community how to get set up properly and how to really position ourselves with some of the best opportunities out there so that we can win long term, because remember, we're hodlers. We buy low and we hodl. And we're getting close to an hour, and I know you're really, really busy. So look at some of these guys. The haters and the trolls are coming out. It's kind of funny. So what I want to do is I want to ask you about 3 companies, 3 stocks that there was an article. We saw the same article today. So what's happening is we're in a new world. We're in 2017, and we're in a very advanced world where computers run the world. And blockchain and cryptocurrencies need computers to operate. And what has happened is these tech companies have taken over the world. So there's 3 companies that I want to share with you, the people that I've been talking about since I started streaming. I told you all that these are guaranteed blue chip must own investments. I own all 3 of them, okay? And I'm super happy. I've been winning on all 3, and I'm not even selling because I don't need to. They are Netflix, Facebook, and Amazon. In the last year, Netflix is up 52%. In the last year, Facebook is up 43%. And in the last year, Amazon is up 40%. What do you think about that, David?
Yeah, that's massive. If you were already in it, congratulations. You did great. I mean, for blue chip stocks, well-known stocks, highly liquid, high-volume stocks, that's fantastic. That's outsized gains. If you're not in it already, do you get in now? I would say a small position, not a terrible idea. Um, don't be surprised if it corrects a little bit along the way, because nothing goes up in a straight line. There are going to be pullbacks along the way. What I like to do is buy the dips. So if you're not in it yet, wait for any dips. Like, for example, today Amazon is down a little bit more than 3%. All right. And after earnings, Amazon went down. It went down somewhat, not as much as some people thought it would. Went down about 2 or 3%. Today it's down another 3%. Maybe wait till people stop panicking, because it's Amazon, for goodness sake. People are not going to stop using Amazon.
It's a
It's a
monster.
solid company. Jeff Bezos, he was briefly the richest man in the world until Amazon had that slight mild earnings miss.
Yeah.
It's not like the company's in trouble. Okay,
No.
people are just freaking out a little bit. Remember, we talked earlier today about how you got to buy, like you say, buy in the red, buy the fear. Just like tomorrow, you might want to buy the volatility on the coins. You might want to, now, don't catch a falling knife. I'm not saying buy it right now while it's going down 2 or 3% every day for the last couple of days. But when the chart starts to go sideways and curl up a little bit, why not get back into Amazon? Now, it's not a cheap stock. It still hovers around almost $1,000 a share. If you're into calls, options and call spreads, you can make it much cheaper. All right, maybe buy some leaps, which are long duration, long term options. You can buy some leap calls. If you don't know what those are, talk to me. Hit me up. We'll talk about it. I teach things like that. Netflix is a lot cheaper. It's a less than $200 per share stock. And then you've got, what's the other one? Facebook. Again, less than $200. They're more affordable. People are not going to stop using Facebook. Yes, Facebook is down almost 2% today. Netflix is down 1%. The techs, I think it's just the Amazon effect. People are, Amazon, AMD, a lot of these stocks that were flying really high recently, they're going to pull back a little bit. That's natural. Trees don't grow to heaven. Okay, it doesn't go straight up. It's kind of a staircasey kind of thing. And so what you do is you buy each one of those dips, and you can hodl that too. Okay, just like with Chaincoin, every time it goes down to 50 cents, buy some more. With Amazon, every time it goes down 5%, which is in the process of doing it, buy a little more. Oh, it goes down another 5%. I'm not scared. Buy a little more, because look at the companies, look at the fundamentals. Amazon is taking over the world little by little. Whole Foods, okay, now they're, Sears, which was struggling, which was losing 5, 6, 7, 8% a day. When Amazon announced they were going to start featuring Sears products, what happened with, I'm sure you know what happened with Sears stock that day. It
Oh,
shot up
exploded.
because
Exploded.
it's the Amazon effect, okay? Facebook, how rich is, what's the Facebook guy's name?
Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. How rich is he now? Okay, how wealthy is he? How much of a stranglehold does he have on the social media world? MySpace, does anybody remember that anymore? Remember when that was the biggest one? Okay. Remember Teen Spot? Anybody? No, those were bigger than Facebook at one time. Everybody uses Facebook. My mother has a Facebook account, and she's elderly. I used to teach fifth grade, and fifth graders had Facebook accounts. Okay,
Yeah,
they still do. Probably first graders and kindergartners have Facebook accounts. All right,
it's true.
it's kind of like Starbucks is to coffee, as Facebook is to social media. They own it. All right, they're not going
They
anywhere.
are the number
So,
one social media company in the world. Number one.
yep, Netflix. There's a phrase, Netflix and chill. Okay, there's a sexual connotation to that. We'll ignore that for now. All right, Netflix. People don't always want to go to the movies. Why? Because movies are getting more and more expensive, and a lot of them kind of stink now anyway. It's Captain America, number 25, whatever. Why not just Netflix and chill? You pay a subscription every year, and now they're making, not now, but they're making great content now. People go to Netflix instead of going to HBO like they used to for the great content. They're thinking ahead. They're making their own programming. Give you more reasons to keep that Netflix experience going if you don't have it already. So they are the leaders in their respective niches. All right. Yes, you've got Hulu. Okay, fine. Most people just Netflix. Okay. If you're going to buy it and hodl it, if you're going to hold on to it for the long term, wait for a dip, which we're probably experiencing right now, and get some more if you had some. If you didn't have it, scale into it. You don't have to buy it all at once. Every time there's a step down in that rocket to the moon. There's going to be stair steps along the way. Get a little bit more every time it goes down 5 to 10%. It's a plan that works.
Real
So that's how I'm
quickly,
handling this.
really quickly before we go, because we're running late here. Epic Hustler, who's a moderator on our channel, just asked a really good question. Netflix owes around $20 billion to various lenders. What do you think about that? Plus, I was reading that the market is going to be foolproof through 2017.
The first part of that, I say, thank you for the question, but so what? All big companies owe money to lenders. They all do, okay? Do you know how many years it takes to get out of that debt? All right. Companies don't even make. You can tell me more about this than I can tell you because you're an entrepreneur. You're kind of a serial entrepreneur. You've owned many companies. How many years, Rich, does it take before you're solvent, before you pay off all your debts?
Well, most companies are usually in debt for about 5 years.
Yeah. And if you're Netflix, it's going to be even longer because you're massive. You're borrowing money for the next initiative. Okay, for the next.
That's right.
Always borrowing. The next leg.
That's right.
Yeah. That's normal. So you bring a great point. I say, so what? I say Netflix still going to the moon with stair steps along the way. They're viable. I love a dip in a great company. As far as I read that or I heard that the market is crash proof until X point in time. No, there's no such thing. Okay, you got to be hedging at all times. So if you like Netflix, if you like Facebook, if you like whatever, Apple, which is going to have earnings this week, you don't put 100% of your portfolio into stocks that are correlated with the S&P 500, okay? You buy some gold with it. You buy some commodities, oil or platinum or silver. You buy some cryptocurrencies with it. You buy some, TLT, the bonds, okay? You buy some volatility with it, UBXY, whatever, BXX, TVIX. You diversify your portfolio so that if a crash does happen and the guy who wrote the article or the analyst who said we're crash proof, yeah, if they're wrong, are they going to pay your bills?
No. They don't. Are
they going to give you back the money that you lost? No, they're going to say, oopsies, sorry. And I still get paid to write that article, and you're out of luck, okay? Always be hedging, whether it's with put options or better yet with diversification. Get yourself some cryptos if you want to. Get yourself some marijuana stocks if you want to. Get a little bit of that, a little bit of the other. Don't put it all into one thing. And hold some cash while you're at it. Cash is king. There's nothing wrong with it. So Thank you for the question.
Absolutely. All right, David, I think we've talked about a lot of different things. I think we've talked a lot about the Bitcoin fork. So Thank you once again. You are just a fountain of information. You are a scholar, my friend. This is David Moadel, guys. Go to his YouTube channel, David Moadel. See him on Twitter. See him on StockTwits. This man is everywhere. He has his own school and his education system where he's teaching students all the time, educating them on options, educating them on stocks, educating them on precious metals, oil and gas, gold, silver. We really want to diversify here. Yes, we love cryptocurrencies. We love stocks. I love real estate, okay? I got international real estate, and I'm going to continue to get more. But we also love precious metals. We love gold. We love silver. We love oil. We love to diversify. That way, if your cryptos are down, maybe today oil's up. It's at $52, And if you're, down on oil, maybe you're up on your stocks. If you're down on your stocks, oil, and cryptocurrencies, maybe you're up on your real estate. Diversification is the key to being free. It's the key to being free. Because if you're all eggs in one basket and that basket has a recession, what do? You're forced to sell at a loss. You never want to be forced to sell at a loss. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Diversification is freedom. I like the way you put that. I might write that down, make a bumper sticker, put it on a shirt. By the way, I'm wearing the shirt today because I want Crypto Coin to go to the moon. Okay, I know that. Okay, it's Saturn. Sorry, I want it to go to Saturn. All right, I want it to go to all the planets. All right. It's been a great show. I'll be here next week if Mr. Rich will let me.
Oh, every week, man, 11 a.m. That's your time. Me and you, we're gonna always, every single week, we're gonna chop it up, buddy. We're just going to chop it up. All right, guys. It's your boy, Rich, saying, I love you all. Saying, thank you, David, once again for another great show. Get your popcorn ready. We got Armageddon coming tomorrow. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. David, always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.